Sometimes, when I make a great effort, I can remember her scent. The furniture came with the cabin. Sarina, this was taken. It was truly like an enchanted time, like we were, my love. We don't have a lot of photos of ourselves as a couple, so this one is quite important. The guy who snapped this, our host that night, used an actual film camera. It was a different world back then. My love, we don't have a lot of photos of ourselves. The guy who snapped this, our host that night, used an actual film camera. The table is our dining table. Quite modest, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I could tell plenty of stories about this table. To be honest, I'm surprised it's still in one piece. Something draws me to this trunk. Is it the memories locked within? Or something else? We use this trunk to store trinkets and papers, but I can't help thinking there's something of importance inside. It's too painful. I want to, but not yet. Sarina, why can't I see you more clearly? Why can't I even remember? This was taken on that crisp winter night at our mutual friend's hunting lodge. The furniture came with the cabin. Considering how off the beaten path this place is, that helped make so much I loved it when we took down one of my favorites and curled up on the bed to read together. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. Sharing meals with a good red wine was one of the great pleasures in our so many afternoons spent in this armchair. This window never got much attention. Then again, the view isn't nearly as spectacular. Priorities, right? No, I don't want to leave right now. There's still something for me in here. Quite a large armoire for our admittedly Spartan needs. She uses most of it. I'm not sure why, but I don't think Sarina. Maybe I'm a casual dresser. No need to change clothes right. Curiously, she's fairly religious. Not me. I'm the cold and cynical bastard. But I don't remember. She used to keep magazines.
Good night, love.
She would always bring her reading material like our refuge. Sometimes we joked the furniture came with the cabin, but the bedclothes we brought with us. A place like this needs some luxury. But without her... She made this with her own hands. There are no monsters. I feel too restless.
Look what I made, hun. In case we ever need to sweep something under.
Dust. The amount of dust on it might make me hack up a lung. Maybe I should have let her bring some plants inside. I don't...
See the pattern of yellow squares? It's from this rug I remembered from my nursery. I must have been like 3 or...
There are no monsters under... I feel too restless to sleep right now. Come, love, with peace in your heart, said Niamh of the ice-blue eyes. Sometimes she would brush her lip. This one wobbles. I always meant to do something about that, but I better stay in case Sarina comes back.
Come sit with me. I want to talk.
What did we talk about? Damn this. The table is worn, but this used to be her favorite spot. She used to sit here, put her legs on the table, lean back. A lot of rare... I didn't lend out my Necronomicon, did I? No. Most of the books are mine, but all of hers are still here too. A lot of rarity. I did most of the book. I didn't lend out my Necronomicon, did I? No. The most comfortable spot in the... I should probably eat. We had such a wonderful time dining in this cabin. Sarina loved to experiment. I have more pressing things on my mind right now than our dining table. I could tell plenty. The dining table, once we dragged these chairs out to the lake, our dining table.
You always put too much salt in, dear. Think about your pressure.
I could tell plenty. The dining table was well worn even when we acquired the cabin. You could tell from its appearance. Our dining table. Quite modest, but if it ain't broke, I could tell plenty of stories. It was true, my love. The dining table was well. Our dining table. I could tell plenty. The dining table was well. Our dining. I could tell plenty of stories about this table. To be honest, I'm surprised it's still in one piece. We found this trunk at a flea we found this trunk at a flea market. We used to love rummaging around those in our early years. The clock is a trophy from our flea market adventures. Chalk this particular purchase up to every cat. She was special. Contradictory. She didn't mind these. Actually, I think she was into them too. We used to keep a pitch. I don't sleep well. There are no monsters under the bed. I guess they're all in my head.
Dearest, how do I say any of this? I like your way with words, but if I don't write this, I don't know what I'll do. My life feels so unreal now, dreamlike, but wonderfully so. Let me try, even if clumsily. The hours I spent with you when we last met are precious to me. I was so lost such a short time ago. Everything seemed drained of color and feeling. I think we were meant to find each other, to bring meaning to our lives again, make sense of the confusion shrouding both of us. When we stepped into the crystal silence of the snowy woods, away from the chatter of the guests, all nature seemed expectant, as if holding its breath, witnessing a rare moment of something infinitely better than what life in the ordinary run of things has to offer. Do you remember how the light crust of the snow glittered in the reflected light of the country house? How the copse of trees in which we walked was haloed with a magical aura? I felt the chill of the night air, and you opened your coat and enfolded me in your arms, and we hugged tight, sharing the warmth, sharing the only thing any of us have to share on this earth when you think about it. And then you toppled us on the snow, you devil. We laughed and rolled around, my head already spinning from the wine and crisp, pure night air and the stillness all around. We lay back, and I gasped when I realized what I was seeing. The luminous starscape, like a vast velvet cloth sprinkled with powdered sugar, like it can only be seen in the countryside. I had tears in my eyes when I turned to you and we kissed, and it felt like the only moment in all of time, or outside time, and ours was the only spark that could ignite the universe. You gave me these moments. You complete me in ways I never knew to dream of. Let me be the one who makes sense of the confusion whenever you feel lost again. We can make our own world against the rest of the world if need be. Together we can silence all the demons, heal all the wounds. I love you. In eternity yours, Sarina.
I still can't understand. Even the features of her face feel hazy and distant, like remnants of a broken dream. Pretty shambolic, isn't it? The organization of its contents isn't much better. They prevent my blood pressure from skyrocketing. Doctor's orders. I'm generally not fond of taking medication. I find it hard to believe ingesting a few comme une évidence, Sarina's favorite perfume. These keys are for the cabin and the car. If the keys are here, does she have her spare? I should probably stay here in case she doesn't. Did she even have her own spare? We also have a key for the outhouse. I can't be bothered to keep it anywhere other than... We were never that big. I do remember that on the night I first met her, she wore this beautiful purple dress. Like she'd fly. It's a beautiful day, though there's an unnatural calm surrounding the area. And no trap. I always resisted the temptation to sweep things under there when it was my turn to tidy up. There's always a chance she might return. This door has been creaking for years. One of the many things I promised I would fix. It's based on an Irish folktale. Warrior poet O'Sheen goes to Tirnanog, a Celtic otherworld known as the Land of Youth and Promise. Big enough for a lifetime. We found this trunk at a flea market. Big enough. We hated guns, so we never had any, even out here. We found this trunk big enough. We hated guns, so we never had any, even out here. But this would have been a good place to keep one, since it can be locked. We found this trunk at a flea market. We used to love rummaging around those in our early years. I feel too restless to sleep right now. I don't sleep well without Sarina next to me. Both a blessing and a curse, I suppose. There are no monsters under the... I feel too restless to sleep right now.
The rug's all crooked again. Can you help me straighten?
And no trap door under there, just more creaky floor. I guess it's covered with grease and grime from... Of course, the most comfortable spot for all the dining table was well worn even when we acquired the cabin. You could tell from the stove. Truth be told, not all the cooking she did was a resounding success. Our dining table, one of a matching pair. I could tell plenty of stories about this table. Our dining table. We don't have a lot of photos of ourselves as a couple, so this one is quite important.
Feeling peckish, dear?
Ticking begins to feel homey after a while. There's a thick layer of dust and an almost invisible outline where we kept the water pitcher.
That?
I read it for the articles, of course. Like that one by the guy. I've always loved the hazy afternoon shades of this place. There are no monsters. I feel too restless to sleep right now.
The rug's all
no trap door under there. Just more creaky floor.
Dearest, and then...
This dresser, there's mostly beauty. I keep looking at her things, remembering all. We did have a night prowler once who left a mark inside. We did have a night prowler once who left a mark inside the outhouse, but we rarely lock it anyway.
Don't.
I'm only supposed to take these before meals. We were happy for a long time, at least I think we were. But as time passed, we fought about every little thing, even this. I have this gut feeling that I shouldn't leave just yet. Big enough for a lifetime of... We found this trunk at a flea market. We used to love rummaging around those in our... I could tell plenty of stories about this table. To be honest, I'm surprised it's still in one piece.
Feeling you silly dolt. Here, give me that. Don't be such a child.
I can imagine her cuddling up to me even now, putting her hand under my shirt. Most of the books are a lot of... I didn't lend out my Necronomicon, did I? No, of course not. This door has been creaking for years. One of the many things I promised I would fix. It's deep into summer. I always resisted the temptation to sweep things under there when it was my turn to tidy up. It's full of little... I don't sleep well without Sarina next to me. Both a blessing and a curse, I suppose. The dining table was well worn even when we acquired the cabin. You could tell from its appearance that it had been the centerpiece of many happy occasions. I think it dates from the colonial.